So this is the point in the episode where Remy and I are jumping in post production. Welcome to post production, Remy and Tom. Remy, you're very good at being like, let me bring something up that's going to make Tom go on a rant.
No, I love it. I love it. I haven't because I've never talked to like Matthew or Alicia about this or like any other poets that can do slam or like work in that vein. Because I don't know. Maybe if I committed to it, I could, but I do not have the capacity to commit to, I don't know. I guess I write. Yeah, I mean, the school has also helped me realize that I do write within. I knew I wrote within like a certain lineage or form, but it's also helped me like see like, oh, these are other people in this form. Yeah. So to either expand that form, um, include other forms, or like, yeah, I don't know. I'm really interested in being outside of forms, but it's such an expansive area, which I'm not even sure what it means all the time.
It's to me where I'm at in terms of my art is I for so long wanted to create music. Yes, because I had these sounds in my head.
Ooh, I have these sounds in my head.
It's like just so often it'd be so frustrating. Like, how do I get these out of my head? And a big
Mm,
part is I just need the technology to catch up. I mean, it's like back in the day, the recording capabilities, even in my lifetime, like have just skyrocketed. Now all you need is a MacBook.
you
And
really need a MacBook. The
what'd you say?
mic quality of this laptop is stupid. Like, you're not gonna get nothing like fire, but even without a mic, like you could you could scratch something out.
And unlimited tracks. I mean, like, can you imagine Jimi Hendrix or Brian Wilson? I mean, Brian Wilson is alive, but like when they were recording their stuff back then, they were recording like three things onto one track, just to,
Just
and the
a fit.
technology, you don't even have to play an instrument. You can do so many things to, but some things that have changed in me is it's no longer this like painful thing. Like I mean, I
Painful.
haven't like dived into it as deeply, but it used to be this like pain of like not being able to get the sound out of my head was like painful. Like it was
Whoa.
like a not addiction, but like it's like and I think that is an inner journey. That's not a learning an instrument because a lot of that I think too is like this hope that your art will finally and the reaction the art gets will like finally make me feel loved and valued and appreciated and once I'm
Mm,
at this level of success in my art, then I'll know I've made it and then my life can begin
my
and like
life.
all like all of this stuff is a hindrance. This is the trauma of living in this world. It's not have anything to do with the art. And I find the more I like solve these things or not solve, but integrate them, that now as I'm getting ready to dive back into my music, there's not this like need for it to be something. It's like I really just feel this desire to create music that I really want to hear, but I can't find. So I'm just gonna make it so I can listen to it. That the rest of you assholes like it. I don't give a shit because I need this. Okay.
So wow, a lot of things there. Damn, you working, you're back.
What'd you say?
You're back on the music tip.
I am there. Like I had to get a new computer. My computer was like 2012, so Ableton wouldn't literally I couldn't open Ableton anymore. So I was like, all right, looks like I'm not doing music. for a
Mm.
little bit here, and I've been able to make my business not be this monster that takes over my life. And so I'm like
Wow.
having the space for it and then this inner journey. So it's like a lot of points intersecting. So that's the goal. Yeah. Within the next like week, I want to be starting down the road of like, okay, what's the music I want to listen to that I don't hear yet? It's a combination of things.
Okay. Okay. I'm excited.
Are
Oh my gosh. What is all this stuff on my computer?
you looking at the music you've created?
I'm just looking at like, what is that? What is that? Oh my gosh. I'm looking at oh my gosh, yo, freaking what is this? Final Cut Pro takes up so much space. I'm gonna delete this stuff. I'm not looking at the music right now. Yeah. What? I have been practicing piano. Um,
Oh, really? That's awesome.
yeah. Been trying to do some more acoustic things.
Yeah, I'm with that.
I got a flute. I don't know if you've
Oh,
seen
that's
them.
cool.
It's a Japanese flute.
One interesting thing about the way I'm hearing music is
Mm.
I'm very self-aware that I love um, like in the higher register, the higher octaves. I love music in that, and that includes like all instruments. So that means like bass. I just barely hear bass at all. Like it's why
When
playing
you're
jazz.
listening.
Yeah, it's like why playing jazz was so hard for me. They're like, hear the chord. I'm like, I hear nothing. I hear nothing. I just hear just random notes. Okay. And I can barely hear the bass. I hear nothing. I hear nothing. They're like, well, you suck. You'll never make it as a jazz artist. I'm
Oh
like,
my
fuck.
God.
I mean, they nicely said it, but, and, and the other one is like, I felt drums, but I never really listened to a song for the drums unless the drums were like, Fire by Jimi Hendrix, where everyone's like, whoa, what is that?
Uh,
And I've really been starting to hear, I'm still not there with the bass, but like really to hear rhythm and drums more.
uh,
And I think that has something to do with my daughter. I think she's to
you
blame.
be doing drumming stuff.
She isn't, but I was like, just something about her. It's like on a spiritual level, there's something in there with like the rhythm, something about it. So I think I'm like feeding off the way she listens to music. Could be
Well,
wrong. So I'm very curious. I'm just curious to see. So I guess I'm approaching the creativity from like a curiosity point rather than a like I could fail, like this needing to prove something, like,
uh,
but will people like this kind of a thing?
yeah. I think I had a little bit of that enabled. Like, I was scared to like open. I got, or even Logic. I don't know any workstation for real, but like playing around with it. But then I was just playing around with it because like some stuff I'm like I don't know what this does, and it's cool to like not know what it does.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, 'cause I'm just like oh that sounds interesting. I guess I don't know. We'll work for now.
There's this Netflix documentary I watched on autotune.
Yeah,
Did you watch it?
I with the white guy who invented it.
Yes, and that's T-Pain, right? T-Pain's the one that everybody gives a hard time about
Uh-huh.
autotune, right? That's his name.
Yeah.
Uh and it was interesting him breaking down discovering autotune himself. Did you see that part?
I slightly remember it, but because he was just working on something else, right?
So I'll just share it for
Yeah.
the two people still listening.
Are
I'll
they
share it for
us?
you.
Or are they us
Oh,
in a different?
no one's here. I mean, like when we put this out into the world, the two listeners out there who are still here. more or less he talked about like he was doing music. Like I think he was like in a hip hop group, and he was always kind of like looking for the unique thing. And
Oh, T-Pain's part.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, and like and fill in the blanks if I'm doing something wrong. But like he heard auto tune but didn't know what it was. He's like, "Whoa, what was that?"
Uh-huh.
And this was before Share, where we all
This was
were like,
before
"Oh,
shit.
yeah, this is before
Okay.
Share." And so he had to just to all his friends, anyone who had any sort of plug-in for their recording system, he would just like hack it, like get it from him. And he just went through hundreds of plugins because he didn't know what it was called.
That part was wild.
What'd you say?
That part was wild. He's like,
Yes.
I had to go through hundreds of cracked plugins.
And just put my voice through it, like just apply it to my voice. Talk about a vision. Like I know that this sound is going to be different. Like I know something about, and then obviously he
Yeah.
found it and he was right. And I think it's helpful for us as like a culture to reflect upon the hate that this dude got for being innovative.
Oh
You
my
know?
gosh. Really ridiculous.
Who cares? Like, but I was a punk rocker, so I hated anything that was popular. Anything, like Green Day. Oh, fuck Green Day. They sold out. Like they just got popular. Like anybody, like even when AFI got on MTV, it's like, screw AFI. How dare you get on MTV?
Who's AFI?
AFI, A Fire Inside. Were you into punk type?
No, not then. Yeah.
AFI is worth
Oh,
checking out, I think.
yes.
Uh, if you want to start light, God Called In Sick Today is a good one to check out. If you want to jump right into it, I think it's called Days of the Phoenix. Is that what it's called? AFI Days of the yeah, Days of the Phoenix you can check out.
Okay.
But Girls Not Great was their like album that got on MTV, and we were all like, "You suck! I hate you! How dare you! This music's horrible." So anything that was popular, I thought was just garbage, especially emo, like My Chemical Romance, all that stuff. It's like I hate them, and
Oh well.
now I appreciate their music because you know punk rock is no longer my conformist trap. It's like be yourself, but within these rules. You know.
Yeah. Just yeah. I mean, it's like yeah. It was wild. People were like, and then he can sing. Yeah, he couldn't sing. T-Pain. It's like it worked. I don't know. Yeah. If people like only accept like some limit of innovation. But I guess it was gatekeeping people too. I was never like, wow. Or I don't remember being like, wow, this man cheated or something.
I mean, it is the. I mean, I think AI is frightening in many instances, and then in a lot of instances that people are the most worried about. To me, it's like welcome to technology. It's like if you're if you were being paid because you were one of the few people on earth that could sing like that
Hmm.
live, and now that's no longer a differentiator. Like people are no longer saying like I only want to pay for people who can do this without technology. Like people just stop saying that. So then you're like, well, fuck, my product is no longer as valuable. Right. So
Yeah.
then if it's like this kind of like, once again, if we're talking about capitalism, then you hate technology because technology is going to, you know, in the South Park voice, the take away my job, that kind of energy to it. Take you, you seen that episode?
Yes, whichever one it's on, that guy.
The people from the future.
Oh
People from the
yeah,
future
yeah,
coming here and taking her jab. I feel like that's exactly what this episode needed.
yeah. Oh, we should have tucked that in the middle or something. All
So
here.
yeah, that it's to me the same. Like people are like, kids should learn real instruments. It's like, yes, they should. That'd be great, or just learn how to do it on a computer and you can play every instrument you want.
You know, I could play these chords, or I can load up this chord progression and manipulate it a little bit. Um,
And I think it's like, and if that person becomes passionate, you're going to inevitably probably want to learn how to play the piano because a lot of music done on the computer, like you can do it on the keyboard, you can do it on things like the Ableton Push, you can do it like with a mouse and just like put, little dots. Or there are a lot of people who use their keyboard as a controller and play drums, play anything on the computer they want on the keyboard. So like, I think that like people can naturally find their way to things without it having to be like, all right, here we go. You're gonna start taking piano lessons and become really
yeah,
good at the piano because you should know how to play a real instrument. It's like, I don't know, as somebody who can play real instruments, quote unquote, and also does things on the computer and who has my whole life just been like, I I just want to play live music and I just have these songs in my head I need to get out. Like,
mm.
you know, like I wish I would have known about the computer when I was a little kid, but it wasn't around. So
Like back then.
yeah, it's like, oh, in my room at any time of day and it won't wake anybody up, I can just create all the music I want in my headphones on this thing, any instrument. Like, okay, I don't need
Yeah.
to do anything else. Fuck school. Fuck piano class.
Yeah, I mean, you can't love that. I don't know, because right, like one instruments lessons generally very inaccessible, made
Mm-hmm.
inaccessible because that's like the first program they usually go at a school is them closing music programs.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, if you want an instrument, then you could maybe find one, but like still like several $100s at least. And it's like, yeah, it's a different skill. It's just a different skill.
I also think there's a difference in like, okay, I want you to understand that you want to write music and I want you to just set that aside. And I want you to, for the next 5 years, learn the mechanics of this instrument.
Oof.
And then you'll get there and it will empower you in any kind of music you want to do for the rest of your life. Because now you get theory, you get how to learn something, you get all of this. And now look, I can plug this into the computer and look at all these things you can do that people who didn't learn a piano cannot do. It's like
Yeah.
it's a hard sell. I mean, 5 years is like you're in eighth grade and now you're in college. You know what I mean? Like it's as a long time for a young person. 5 years,
That
like
is a long time. It's
it's
funny.
it's different. Like you have to find a different way to integrate it. Like it's we're like I'm goal oriented like that now because 5 years in your 30s is like, well, I'm gonna be getting up and eating dirt for the next 5 years with a 5-year-old.
You say, I'm gonna be getting up there.
So 5 years, God, I'm 5 years ain't nothing now. It's
Oh,
different. Just on a. It's not like next year I'm finally gonna graduate from high school and my life's gonna begin. Like my life has begun, and I've realized, kind of disillusioned to a lot of that stuff, more jaded. So you just have a bigger grasp on time when you're older. So it's just,
Yeah.
but now I don't have the time. Now there's no one that's like, all right, son, you now have a half hour to just practice. I wish somebody would be like, you're only going to practice your piano, sit down, nothing else. But it's more like, oh, you got a half hour, clean, so it's tough. Remy, anything you want to share in conclusion of these? I think we're able to get 2 bonus episodes out of our conversation. Any last things on your mind or your heart you wanted to speak into the space
Oh,
until we get you back here again?
just I don't know. Yeah. Like Tom is saying, 5 years. I think it was a Soldier Boy tweet. It was like, yeah, that I don't know, something like 5 years is gonna seem long, but then you look back at it and it's like, oh, that was like nothing. So like, I don't know, find a craft or like practice or something that you dig and you wanna like, all right, I'm gonna do this. Like maybe it'll just be 30 minutes a day, maybe it'll be 10 minutes, but eventually you can get like an hour, 2 hours a day. It's just super satisfying to like have something that you know so well with your mind or body to jump into.
Mm,
Yeah.
I like this. This is nice. A nice energy you're giving this that I'm picking up on. I guess for me on that point, it's my big aha that I had over the past year is like being an awesome musician, doing art that changes the world,
Hmm.
making the world a better place. Like all of these things ultimately are outer goals,
Uh,
and your outer goal is secondary to your inner goal.
mm,
And the inner goal doesn't have anything to do with, this is just my opinion, like doesn't it's not an adding on to the world or to yourself.
hmm.
It's more of this like connection to the fact that at your worst and at your best, you're still infinity. There's like no taking away from the fact that you are infinity. And especially as performers, like people's applause
Yeah.
doesn't add to us, and people's boos don't take away from us. But both are really hard to be like, I get that, both. So like in the face of criticism, like even whether it's helpful or not, like this isn't taking away anything from me. But also the like applause. Also the applause isn't adding anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like you already are everything. Like I heard this one person say, like, you already are more special than if all of your egoic hopes and dreams were suddenly realized. Like
Mm.
everything, like if I one day am that, like even if you did all of those things,
What
it
the
still
heck?
pales in comparison to how amazing you actually are.
Who said that? That's
That was
ill.
Eckhart Tolle.
Okay, of course.
It's like that right there. Like the more you can sit with that comes a greater ability be to like be bored. And a lot of stuff is really boring. Like even a lot of amazing things, like even the most exciting concert has boring parts.
Hmm.
And also just like it removes this that anything you're doing because you're trying to get somewhere or prove something or to finally feel this feeling you've been chasing. And like the more you can remove those things from anything you're doing, the more of yourself is actually in it. So that is a MFer of a journey, and it will damn near kill you. But I think that's the one worth going on,
Yeah.
especially if you are an artist. Those are my
Wow.
closing thoughts.
Love it.
Love it. And I love you, Remy. I'm so grateful we got to spend this time together again.
Yes, yes.
where can the good folks out there tell you how much they appreciate you?
I'm at Instagram. You can hit at yummy YUMMY __ online. Yeah,
Don't forget the 2 underscores.
2 underscores. Yeah, hit me up online.
Wonderful. You can find the things I'm doing at tomearl.me/DCM invite. That's the experimental creative playground where we wrestle with a lot of the stuff we've been talking about. So love to have you check it out. Well, until next time, we appreciated having you here, Remy, and we appreciate all of you for joining us on this. We've been calling it the Undefinable series, by the way, Remy. I don't know if you saw that.
Undefinable.
Yeah.
Okay. I like it.
Boom. I was going to ask. I was like, oh, ask Remy what he thinks about that. And I guess I remember to ask with 30 seconds left. All right, y'all. As always, we're wishing you peace and blessings. Thank you.
Thank you.
One more thing. I'd love to continue the conversation. Feel free to join me at tomearl.com/join. Subscribe below, or let's connect on social media. Tom Earl Artist. Thanks again for watching.